Morning everyone, happy Wellbeing Wednesday. Hope you're all okay. So the second newsletter has gone out on Wellbeing Wednesday, and the theme this week is all about motivation. Oh my gosh, motivation. It's huge. I'm struggle sometimes with motivation, so I wonder how you are doing with motivation. What is motivation and how do we put motivation in our lives? So there's an author called Steven Pressfield, and I love his little definition of motivation. It goes like this: at some point, the pain of not doing it becomes greater than the pain of doing it. Can you relate? I can relate. Sometimes I procrastinate, which means I leave things until the very last minute, and then I try and get them done, and by then I'm actually in an absolute state because I have left it to the last minute. So how do we learn to put motivation into our lives? So motivation isn't a feeling, and motivation isn't an emotion. Motivation comes from a place of action. So when your parents are maybe saying to you, come on, get motivated, get out of bed, get your work done, get dressed, get up. You know, how do you find the motivation to do these sort of things in the situation we find ourselves in? So there are 3 little tips I'm going to give you to try and help you. When we think with motivation and what it means, it actually is part of your rational thinking. We use our prefrontal cortex to engage motivation in our life. It comes from a place of rational thinking, from a decision. So number 1 would be the Goldilocks rule. So the Goldilocks rule is all about something that's not too hard, not too easy, but just right. It's putting something in your life, some form of motivation that is just right. It's easy to achieve, because once you start doing something, you get a routine going, you actively start making the difference, then your motivation will come, and then based on that motivation, you'll start maybe wanting to do more. So an example is exercise. I have not been very good at exercising at the moment, and weeks back I was saying to myself, come on Mrs. Walker, you can exercise 4 times a week. Never happened. It was never going to happen. So what I've done in the last couple of weeks is I have given myself a Goldilocks rule, what's just right for me, what I think is manageable, 1 time a week. So for the last 2 weeks, do you know what? I've surprised myself. I've actually exercised 2 or 3 times a week, because once I do 1 time a week, I have achieved my little goal. I'm then feeling motivated to do more. And I think, hang on, do you know what? Maybe I'll actually go out and do some more exercise. So that's how motivation can work. Secondly, my second tip for you is it's okay to forget. Compassion for yourself. Do you know what? It's okay if you don't get it right, because there's always tomorrow. There's another day that you can start. So the next day, look at your Goldilocks rule and think, okay, does it need to be changed? Is it too hard? How do I get it just right in order for me to get motivated? An example for me is, this is disgraceful to even share with you, is working in my pajamas. In the morning I get up, I have breakfast, and then I sit at my computer and I start my work. And actually, on the odd occasion, I have come to my office just wanting to check my emails before I go and get changed, and I actually sit down and get carried away, and before I know it, my computer pings and I've got a Teams meeting with the students, and I look down and I'm in my pajamas, and then I'm rushing to try and get changed and get sorted. So actually, I've been quite gentle with myself and thought, you know what, tomorrow I'll be a little bit more disciplined, and I'll make sure that I get up and I get changed before I do any work, and that's what I'm trying to do. But there are the occasional days where I don't get it right. The last thing, so tip number 3 would be to reward yourself. You know, it's hard. It's hard at the moment. So what could you do to put little rewards in your day to make things okay? And this is my reward. I'm going to share it with you. Look at it. It's called a box of hotel chocolate, my favorite chocolate ever, and I got given a box for Christmas. I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. You can see there all this lovely little selection of chocolates. They're all so different and lovely, and you can see there are quite a few missing. So when I have a good day, I will reward myself with the chocolates. And it might sound so silly to you, and it might make no sense to you, and you might think that Mrs. Walker has actually lost the plot. But you know what? For me, it keeps me motivated. So my third thing is, what could you do in your day to help you feel positive by rewarding yourself? So 3 tips for the week for motivation. Number 1, remember your Goldilocks rule. Yeah? Not too hard, not too easy, just right. Number 2, it's okay if you forget and you get it wrong in a day. There's always another day that you can do it. And number 3 would be to reward yourself. Find a way to reward yourself, to be gracious and compassionate to yourself, and just to help you feel you can do this. Keep going, everyone, and keep motivated. Take care. Bye.